What would actually happen if Russia attacked a NATO country tomorrow? No mountains, no major rivers, no natural barriers, just flat terrain, sitting between Russia's military exclave on one side and its closest ally on the other. Military analysts call it the most dangerous piece of land on the planet. NATO calls it its biggest vulnerability. Russia calls it an opportunity. And right now, in 2026, the forces surrounding that corridor are larger than at any point since the Cold War. This is not a hypothetical. This is the real strategic picture unfolding right now. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly how Russia plans to fight NATO and why the window to stop it is closing faster than most people realize. Let us start with what is actually happening on the ground, because the scale of it is not being reported clearly. In 2024, Russia assembled a new Army Corps and motorized rifle division near Estonia. In 2025, it formed 5 new divisions, 13 brigades, and 30 regiments. Plans for 2026 include 4 additional divisions. Russia's plan involves creating new military units and multiplying its pre-war force along its border with NATO by 2 to 3 times. And this is happening while Russia is still fighting in Ukraine. Its economy is on a wartime footing. Its defense industry is running at full capacity. Despite sustaining around 1.2 million battlefield casualties, Russia increased its army personnel by 234,000 in 2025. A country that absorbs that level of losses and still grows its military is not winding down. It is preparing for something bigger. Belarus must now be assessed as an operational component of Russia's military posture in Europe, functioning simultaneously as a pre-positioning hub, a strike enabler, and a platform for forward nuclear signaling. Russia now has a forward operating base on NATO's doorstep, and it is not hiding it. Now let us talk about the specific location where military planners believe any conflict would begin. The Suwalki Gap is a roughly 65-kilometer stretch of border, the only land connection between the 3 Baltic states and their NATO allies in Poland and the rest of Europe. On one side lies Kaliningrad, a heavily armed Russian exclave on the Baltic Sea. On the other side is Belarus, Moscow's closest ally. If Russia seizes that corridor, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, 3 NATO member states with a combined population of over 6 million people, are completely cut off from land reinforcement. Based on the results of a recent NATO war game, alliance analysts concluded that in the event of a Russian attack, Russian forces would establish full control over the Suwalki Gap within a few days, and Lithuania would be unable to offer any adequate resistance. Many defense experts warn that if Putin were to strike a NATO member, the conflict would likely begin in the Suwalki Gap. This is not speculation. This is the consensus view of Western defense analysts in early 2026. Here's what most people misunderstand about how Russia fights. It doesn't start with tanks. It starts years before the first shot is fired. Russia has been running a documented playbook of gray zone tactics designed to weaken NATO from the inside before a single soldier crosses a border. In September 2025, Russian drones and planes violated the airspace of Estonia, Finland, Latvia, Lithuania, Norway, Poland, and Romania. Not one country, 7 simultaneously. In a single month. These are not accidents. They're probes, testing response times, identifying gaps, measuring how much NATO will tolerate before pushing back. Undersea cables get cut. Power infrastructure gets sabotaged. Disinformation campaigns fracture public support for NATO membership in target countries. All of it deniable. All of it deliberate. By the time tanks actually move, the real war has already been running for years. This is the piece most people have never heard of, and it changes the entire strategic picture. Kaliningrad is a Russian territory. It sits on the Baltic Sea, completely surrounded by NATO members, Poland and Lithuania. It is not a civilian enclave. It is one of the most heavily militarized pieces of land on Earth, packed with missile systems, naval assets, and air defense batteries positioned directly inside NATO's geographic boundary. Moscow could place conventional Russian forces in Kaliningrad and western Russia on high alert, readying long-range fires and air defense batteries to intersect or strike supporting military assets from NATO member states. From Kaliningrad, Russian missiles can reach Warsaw, Berlin, and Stockholm. The S-400 air defense system stationed there can contest NATO air operations across the Baltic region. It's a dagger pointed at the heart of NATO's eastern flank, and it is already there, already armed, already operational. This is the part that makes everything else more complicated. Russia's nuclear doctrine has been updated. It is no longer reserved for existential threats to Russian territory. It now explicitly covers scenarios where conventional military defeat appears likely. In simple terms, if Russia starts losing, nuclear threats go on the table. This is the trap NATO faces. Putin made this clear publicly. European military buildup will force Russia to act, and the response will be, to put it mildly, very convincing. That's not diplomatic language. That's a direct warning. NATO is not sitting still, but whether it's moving fast enough is a different question. Poland launched a $2.5 billion defensive network along its borders with Russia. Germany deployed its first brigade to Lithuania since World War II. 5,000 soldiers, Leopard tanks, real commitments. But one problem undermines all of it. Article 5. An attack on one NATO member is an attack on all, has never actually been tested, and right now, European planners are no longer certain the United States would honor it. NATO's entire deterrence model runs on certainty. The moment certainty becomes a question mark, it stops being a deterrent, and that's exactly the opening Russia is waiting for. Russia is not ready to attack NATO today. Intelligence assessments confirm Russia cannot launch a full-scale attack this year or next, but the buildup is real. The doctrine is documented. The target is identified. And the window, the period in which NATO can build defenses faster than Russia builds its offensive capability, is measured in years, not decades. What happens in the next few years determines whether this remains a cold strategic competition or becomes something far worse. Like and subscribe. Drop your thoughts in the comments.